This is for Lucy on Facebook. Um, so the first and foremost thing that I see wrong with this is that you don't have a lot of the form going on in the face. And what I mean by that is you have shadows, but the problem is the form of the face itself doesn't feel proper. So if I look at this from a proportional standpoint, this coming down, straight down, should be generally from the center of the eyes to the should be to the corner of the mouth. So that's a little bit long, and his eyes are a little bit narrow. So basically, what's happening is the nose is kind of scrunched in there. You do have a little bit of the form going around the forehead here and around the cheeks, which is really good. But the problem is it doesn't feel right because of the angle that you're looking at. And I think a lot of this is because that you've kind of got a straight on look. I mean, honestly, just by drawing the center line here, you've got a straight on look for the forehead. Let me just actually grab some of this out of here. You've got a straight on look here from the forehead, and the chin is relatively decent. But the problem you have is that you're not really curving things around. The face is a little bit too narrow. I would almost widen the face a little bit, and then it's not like if you're looking from this 3/4 view here, like so, then the nose is actually going to be think of triangulated here, and it would probably stick out a little bit more, something like that. And then you want to cut in the eye, so the nose is actually going to hide some of that. So a lot of the issue that you have is that you've got no real curve here, because your nose is almost a 3/4 view here. You should also have a 3/4 view here as well. Now, the other thing too is while you've got that as a 3/4, so if I match this angle here, I should come in, come out, and then I should have this type of angle here as well. So the proportions in the face are a little bit need some fixing. So they're a little bit messed up. I think widening the nose a little bit, or either straightening the nose out so that I can see a little bit more of the nostril on this side, will fix what's wrong with the angle. So that being said, one of the things too, when you look at your color tone system here, let's see here. So when you look at the color tone system here, you've got really great form going on here into the center of the face. But the problem is on the hair, you're losing all of the form as well. You know, you want things like the braid to pop out. So if I've got like this dark here, and you want to add in more form, you want to pull out. Let's just grab some of the shadow here. You want to pull out this. Now let's go a little bit. Oops, not that color. So you want to pull out more highlights in the hair itself. Think of the hair as a form as well, just like the face. It's got body to it. It's got proportion, and then you can cut in the angles there, like so. So again, pop out the braid, pop out those types of things. The next thing I see is you've got in here, you've got this really dark shadow cast from both sides, and then you've got the neck pointing out. So the issue is a lot of times we tend to straighten out the neck, and in all reality, the neck is actually let's just grab. The neck is actually goes back in space. So if you've got your figure here, the neck will actually go angular. So that's something you want to really pay attention to, because right now it looks very flat and very um, forced. It's almost like he's forcing back his neck. So that's another thing. And then be sure to get some shadows in this area here. And again, remember that there's form in your hair, so that you want to highlight the this here and give it light and form. So you've got this strong light going on in the face, but none of that light represents in any of the other areas of the in the picture. I should get this strong light should be pulling off a lot more highlights in the hair. It should be pulling off a lot more highlights in his vest here, and even the shirt itself should be significantly lighter because you're pulling in that light source, and it's basically shining right on the frontal side of the figure. So kind of watch that with your light source too. Also watch these cracks. Cracks, especially behind the figure, start creating antlers. If this one here and this one here create like an antler, and you kind of want to avoid that. Cracks are okay, but just make sure that they have more rhyme and reason. I think just simply taking this here and let's erase this. So simply taking this here and painting these away, I think will help quite a bit more. And this one here looks way too much like lightning. If you want a crack in the wall, you want to add in those highlights where the light is actually hitting it, especially since you have such a dark light or bright light source. The other thing is put the light source behind the figure, so you should have that shadow of him standing behind there. So I hope that helps.